everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Laura. I garden in Zone 6, Connecticut, and I'm going to give you an updated seedling tour today. But first, let me tell you what happened. I had my first pest of the season. So inside there have been spider mites. The first thing I noticed was stippling on some of the leaves of my seedlings, and then a little bit of like webbing in between some of them. So I looked it up, and those are just classic signs of spider mites. And since that happened, I've just been taking a lot of measures to get it under control. One of which is diatomaceous earth. Since everything's still a seedling, I don't really have to worry about bees right now and harming them. There really aren't any bees yet, so I'm okay with using that for now. I also have been using a spray, Captain Jack's Dead Bug spray, and then I've been spraying them with water to kind of spray off the spider mites. These are all things that I looked up and were recommended. I think I caught it in time, and hopefully everything's gonna be okay. I did have to throw some things out, and I had to cut a lot of things back. I'll show you some effects that there were. So what else? I also made a spray of just water with a few drops of rosemary essential oil and peppermint or spearmint essential oil, and sprayed the plants with that. That's supposed to deter them, so that's another thing. And I've been keeping a humidifier on the ones inside because they don't like humidity. They like it when it is hot and dry. So the ones out in the greenhouse are pretty cool and wet because the humidity is pretty high in here. But the ones inside, it's warmer in there, so I'm just trying to keep the humidity up. So I will take you guys inside, and I'll show you what I have going on out here, and then we'll come back. Thanks. You can see things are kind of starting to shade each other out as they get bigger, so I'll be eager to get them out into the greenhouse in a few weeks, hopefully. And in the meantime, I just rotate so everything gets sun. These are some pussy willows that I got from the Connecticut Flower and Garden Festival or show, and the guy told me how to just trim them down, stick them into soil, and they would grow really fast, and he was right. I've only had them for like 2 weeks, and that's how much they've grown already. I'm hoping to make a living fence with these. I just haven't decided where yet. And then over here we have sweet potatoes. Sweet potato vine, I guess. I finally got a couple of my snail vines to germinate. They were in there for like 3 or 4 weeks and still no germination, so I pulled them out and I nicked the outer coating of the seed, and then a couple days later it sprouted, so I should have done that to begin with. In there I have some basil that hasn't sprouted yet. These are some of the ageratum. Sorry, it's a little blurry. You can sort of see on the leaves how it's a little bit dull. Can you see that? Like stippling effect? That's from the spider mites. So hopefully they will recover. I've been treating pretty aggressively. These are agastache that are doing fantastic. And there's some alyssum over here that is also doing really well. More ageratum and more peppers. So here's where you're gonna start to really see some of the effects of the spider mites. These little ageratums, they really got eaten up pretty good. I'm trying to let them recover because ageratum is really pretty tough, so they might grow back. Then I have more agastache over here. There are some more peppers sprouting up. Those are King of the North peppers, I believe, and sweet bonnets. I have some chamomile that I just sort of thinned out. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I think I might scrap the chamomile. I overseeded it entirely. So these are cucamelons, or Mexican sour gherkins, the little tiny ones that look like tiny watermelons. They didn't respond very well to the spray that I sprayed for the spider mites. They started wilting after that, so I'm going to start a new tray of those. Here's, this is just purple coneflower. And over here is a bunch of tomato seedlings and peppers. They're doing pretty well. And up top, more tomatoes, more ageratum. This tray is all pansy. Oh, I'm sorry, no, petunia. Pansies are outside already in the greenhouse. I'll show those in a little bit. These are taking off really well after I potted them up into this tray, split them up and potted them individually. Over here I have some nasturtiums. These are little salvia seedlings. And there's, I think, some aster maybe back there. So that's pretty much what I have left inside. Most of my cold hardy stuff is outside in the greenhouse. I've been very lucky not to have to use a heater yet. They can all handle down to about 25, maybe even lower. So they've been out there for a few weeks and they've been doing just fine. And we'll go take a look at those in a second. If you see white residue on anything, that's from when I did the diatomaceous earth. I rinsed it off, but it left some residue. It'll probably go away the next time I spray them with the essential oil spray. These are the larkspur, and I have started hardening them off outside, so hopefully I'll be able to set them out soon. In here I just have some pansies and stock and snapdragons. And then over here have some sweet peas, a few more larkspur. These are all larkspur. They've started to green up since I switched the containers to give them a deeper root system. Some pansies and more pansies, larkspur, or snapdragons and stock again. And down here I have dianthus. There is a larkspur in there too that popped up. And then over here is yarrow. And these are a pink, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll see if I can find it. And lamb's ear over here. These are doing really good. I have more pansies over here. I was kind of hoping they'd be a little bit bigger by now, but I'm going to fertilize them tomorrow, so hopefully they'll put on some good growth after that. These are penstemon that were definitely affected by the spider mites. They have like leaf curl, but they're still alive, so hopefully having them out here will eliminate that problem, in addition to all the other measures I've been taking. Here's some dianthus over here. And up here, sorry about the lighting, these are snapdragons. And more violas. I keep saying pansies, but I guess, is there a difference between pansies and violas? I'm sure there is. And more lamb's ear over here. That's pretty much everything that I have outside right now, except for some of these plants that I have been overwintering. I was thinking about using one of these little trees for the fairy garden. Like it's a big tree, you know, because they're fairies. So here's the diatomaceous earth that I use. And you are supposed to wear a mask when you do it because it's like little teeny tiny crushed up seashells, I think. And it can irritate your lungs. So I'll show you what it looks like inside. Just a white powder. And I'll insert a clip of how I used that. Okay, so since I have to move these up into bigger containers anyway, I figured this would be the perfect time to use diatomaceous earth. Now, one of the concerns with diatomaceous earth is that it can affect pollinators. What it does is it affects the exoskeleton of insects, so you don't really want to use it around pollinators because we don't want to harm them. But now, first of all, they're not out yet. And secondly, these are just seedlings, so they're still going to be inside, and we won't need to worry about pollinators yet. So this is the perfect time to use diatomaceous earth to handle this spider mite problem. So because they affect the bottom of the leaves, you need to treat the bottom of the leaves, which is kind of difficult. So I figured, what better time to do it than when I'm moving them into different containers. So this is going to be really easy. All I'm doing is I pre-filled a bunch of these little 4-inch pots. I'm going to pop my plant out of its cell. And I did water them really good beforehand, so they're going to be super easy to pop out. And I won't need to water them right away, which is another good thing, because I don't want to wash away the diatomaceous earth. So, I'm just going to flip it upside down and dust it. And then I'm going to pop it in the hole. Get it tucked in. And then dust the rest of it. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this for probably at least 24 hours because they are watered really well. So they should be good on water. And hopefully this will kill whatever is there. And then I'm going to keep treating them from here. And then I also got this Captain Jack's Dead Bug. I've heard Laura on Garden Answer recommend this a few times, and it does spider mites. So That's another thing I've been trying. So thank you all for joining me for this seedling update. I hope I explained the spider mite situation well enough. Basically, I've been like rotating what I'm doing. So I'll treat one day. Like first I did the diatomaceous earth. I treated, and then the next day I rinsed everything off. And then the following day I did the dead bug spray, and then I rinsed everything off. And then I did the peppermint rosemary spray and rinsed all that off. So that's how I've been handling it so far. I think it's working. So I'm just going to keep doing that and hopefully not stress the plants out too much. So that's the plan for now. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you'll join me in the next one. And you can see I have some of my fairy garden stuff over here. I'm planning on working on that soon. So hopefully I'll have a video up about that. Thanks for coming. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you are into this kind of content. Thanks again. Bye.